Hello friends. Today we are going to study about the basics of signals and system. In this figure 1, we can see that the basic structure of our signal and system block diagram. In this figure, we have a system. Right now we can consider it as a black box. Black box means we do not know anything about this system. This system has a one input that is called xt and xn depending upon the nature of time. If our time is continuous means our signal is xt, and if our time is discrete that means our signal is xn. In the same manner, we have output yt or yn. Now suppose this system has only single input, single output. This type of system is called single input, single output system. When we have more than one input, then it is called a multiple input and single output system. When we have one input and multiple output, it is called single input, multiple output system. With multiple inputs and multiple outputs, it is called multiple input, multiple output system. Now let's have a look at example for this system. Suppose we have a multiplier system, means this system is providing a multiplying factor to our input. In our first case, suppose our input signal is 3 and our system is providing a multiplying factor 4, then our output signal yt or yn will be equal to 3 into 4 equal to 12. In our second case, we have two inputs 3 and 5, and our system is providing a multiplying factor that is 5, and after multiplying we have two outputs. First 3 into 5 is equal to 15 and second 5 into 5 is equal to 25. In a second case, in a second example, we have a addition system. Now we replace this system with a addition block with two inputs x1 and x2, and we have one output that is yn. In first case, our input x1 is equal to 3 and x2 is equal to 5, and after addition our output will be equal to 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. And in second case, our first input is 4 and second input is minus 2, and after addition of this system our output is equal to 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. When we are talking about signals, means we are talking about input and output signals. There are several ways of describing signals, out of which first one is by mathematical formula, like x is equal to a multiplied by sine 2 pi ft. Here we are plotting a sine wave with the amplitude, maximum amplitude a. Second way, by the use of tables, we can plot all of our values in terms of our tables. One is our one value for our x-axis and one value for our y-axis, and third one is for by graphical means. Here we have two axes for two dimensional signals. One is x direction and second is y direction. In x direction we are plotting our time, whether continuous t or discrete n. In y direction we are plotting our amplitude xt, continuous amplitude, or discrete xn amplitude. We can plot our positive values of time or negative values of time, as well as positive and negative values of our amplitude. Here our time t is known as a continuous time and time n is known as a discrete time, whereas amplitude xt is a continuous amplitude and xn is a discrete amplitude. Based on these values we have four type of signals now. First one, continuous time, continuous amplitude signal, that is called analog signal. Second one is discrete time, continuous amplitude signal. Third one, continuous time, discrete amplitude signal, and last one is discrete time, discrete amplitude signal. This type of signal is also called discrete signal. As now we know that signals are basically mathematical functions in which one we have a independent variable, that is basically time, and in second case we have dependent variables which are dependent upon this independent variable, like voltage which is dependent upon time, flow rate which can also be dependent upon time, sound pressure, amplitude. These all dependent variables are basically dependent on this independent variable. They are functions of this independent variable time t. Now look at some widely used applications of signal and system. In our first case, we have a mass and spring system. Into this system, we are inputting a sine wave. Means we are providing a oscillatory motion to our mass and spring system. We can see that the output of our system is also a oscillatory motion, a sine wave, but with a phase shift. In second case, we have a tank system. We have two tanks, tank 1 and tank 2, with different heights H1 and H2. First tank is filled by a pipe with a radius R0 T, which is a function of time. Means if we are feeding first tank, then this first tank is feeding second tank, and output of this tank is shown as a final output of our tank system. Here we can see that first tank is fed by a pipe with a steady rate, and output of second tank is showing that first it is in a increasing nature, then it is declining at a steady rate. Means first tank is filling up, and after some time it is emptying out. In our third example, we have cell phone system. One cell phone is fed as a sound in. Means we are providing sound as an input to one cell phone, and that cell phone is communicating with the second cell phone, and output of this cell phone is also a audio signals. Mean to this cell phone system we are providing audio as a input, and we are also getting audio as a output. As of now, we know that our amplitude xt is a function of our time t, and in a similar manner our xn amplitude is a function of time n, where our t is a continuous time and n is our discrete time. In a similar manner, our xt is a continuous amplitude and xn is our discrete amplitude. In this two plot, we can see that in first we have plotted a continuous time, continuous amplitude signal, and in second case we have plotted a continuous amplitude discrete time signal, in which our time is now discrete. Signals from physical systems often function of continuous time, like mass and spring system will produce a continuous time system, and in a similar manner a leaky tank will also produce a continuous time system, whereas signals from computational systems often function of discrete time, like state machines, which give the current input and current state, what is the next output and next state. Now look at the relationship between continuous and discrete values. Continuous is equal to infinite values. We can have any values in between 0 and infinity, whether in positive direction or in negative direction. But in case of discrete, we have finite value in between a range specified. Range means a minimum value to maximum value at a specific interval of time. Now look at this example. In this example, we have a continuous time t in the range from minus infinity to positive infinity, or it may be from 0 to infinity or from minus infinity to 0. Whereas in case of discrete time, which is equal to n, it may be in the range of 0 to 5 at an interval of 1. Means delta t is equal to 1. Delta t is here distance between two time values, or a difference of two time values. Hence total 6 values of n are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because it is starting from 0 and ending at 5 at an interval of 1. Now look at how we can plot a discrete time signal. Suppose we are recording amplitude values in between 0 to 10 from a 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. means total time duration is 30 minutes, and we are recording amplitudes at an interval of 5 minutes, means our delta t is equal to now 0.05. We are recording our first value at 9 a.m. and after that we are recording at 9.05 a.m. then 9.10 a.m. till 9.30 a.m. at an interval of 5 minutes, means our first amplitude value xn is equal to x 9.00, means when our time is 9 a.m. that amplitude is equal to 3. After 5 minutes at x 9.05 our amplitude is 2, then 5 0 3 1 5, means for these 7 time values we have 7 amplitude values ranging from 3 to 5 0 3 1 4. We have recorded these 7 values. In this second case, we are recording our amplitude values for in a decreasing time values, means now our time starting time is 9:30 a.m. and our final time is 9 a.m. Same, we are recording at an interval of 5 minutes. Again our delta t is equal to 0.05. Now our first value of amplitude we are recording for time x 9.30, that is equal to 4, and after that we are recording our second value for 9.25 am, that is 1, means our all values we are recording in a reverse manner. And when we have to plot these two tabulated values, we can see that in our first plot we have plotted in our x direction. In our x axis we have plotted our time values, discrete time values from 9, then 9.05, 9.10, 9.15 till 9.30, and in our y direction we have plotted our amplitude values. Our first value is 3, then 2, then 5 0 3 1, and last one is 4. In our second plot we have plotted all these values in a reverse order, starting from 9.25 till starting from 9.3 to last value at 9. Our all amplitude values are in reverse order. We can plot our values in increasing order as well as in our decreasing order for all time values. To understand the relationship between continuous time and discrete time signal, we can write t is equal to n delta t for conversion from continuous to discrete time, where n is integer and delta t is interval between two time values. For above example, we can write delta t is equal to 0.05 and n is equal to 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. Hence, time t has now total 7 values. That is, first one t naught is equal to 0 into 0.05 is equal to 0. Second, t1 is equal to 1 into 0.05 is equal to 0.05. T2, 2 into 0.05 is equal to 0.10. And last, 6, t6 is equal to 6 into 0.05 is equal to 0.30. Means we can simplify our time axis by defining delta t separately and can write t is equal to n, or we can replace now our t with n. uh, Again we can call it in terms of sample numbers of sample position starting from 0 to our last value. For example, if n is equal to 4, means it is a fifth sample as n starts from 0. Another factor, capital N, is now total number of samples. Therefore, small n has a range from 0 to n minus 1. For example, if suppose n is equal to 5, that means we have total 5 samples starting from 0 to n minus 1, that is 4. Our highest value of sample is 4. Means for a small n we have total 5 values starting from 0 till last value 4, means 0 1 2 3 4. and also we can write it as a n is in between 0 to n minus 1. Above given table and figure now again can be drawn as starting time is equal to 9 a.m. and final time is equal to 9:30 a.m. at an interval of 5 minutes, means delta t is equal to 0.05. Now we can write our discrete time n in terms of sample numbers. First 0, 0 sample, first sample, second sample, third sample, fourth, fifth, and sixth sample. And on these samples, we have amplitude xn, means x zeroth amplitude, x first amplitude, x second amplitude, till last x sixth amplitude. The recorded value of these amplitudes are 3 for 0 sample, 2 for first sample, 5 for second sample, and 4 for last 6 sample. And here at last we are plotting our discrete signals once again. Now we are not plotting our this signal in terms of time values, we are now plotting it in terms of discrete time samples, starting from 0 to last value 6, and we are plotting our discrete amplitude on all these sample values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Similarly, if we have to plot a continuous plot for all these values, we can see that now we have amplitude in between these samples also. From 0 to 1 we have amplitude values, in between 1 to 2 we have amplitude values, means we are plotting now a continuous plot for these discrete values. For above mentioned example and explanations, you can refer these books: Signal System by Sanjay Sharma, Signal System by K.M. Soni, Signal System by Tarun Kurawat, or you can refer to MIT lecture 6003 F11 lecture 01. Uh, in a short while, the PDF of this lecture will be available at website welearnandteach.com. Thank you.